Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Shanidra, with Beyond the Cover. Yes, where you will discover on this one. Just what it is. Exactly what I put as the title is exactly what I'll be talking about on today. You're serving money, not God. Period. End of discussion. We'll be getting deep. We'll go beyond the cover so we can discover what that means. Now, before we go beyond the cover, before we go beyond the cover, I have on my two-tone. Y'all be able to still see it once the signal decides to stop acting up. But I'm sure even with the signal acting up, you can still clearly see that this is a two-tone um, dress. Now, I wore this at one of the events that I took. I think the MLK event that I took pictures of. So I have on my black two-tone in blue, which is my favorite color. Black and blue two-tone dress from my Amour Too Classy boutique. And behind me, let me get this for you guys so you can see. We have this $3 purple lipstick that will go perfect with this wonderful purple dress. Yes, indeed. We also have this $4. $4. You can't even see it. But this is purple as well. It goes perfect with this beautiful purple lavender dress. Yes, this is so beautiful. Perfect for prom, perfect for elegant, classy event that you may be going to. So we do have that available. It's only $45. It's not even high like you will have to pay for it. It kind of looks like one of my bridesmaid dresses that I spent like $200 and something for. But this one is only $45. So it's at our More Too Classy boutique. It is a beautiful silk lavender purple dress. You can get the accessories, the purple lavender earrings, and necklace set for $4. So you're only at $49 at this point, and then you add $3, so you'll be at $52 for all of this. For the whole, well, and your shoes, you have to get your shoes. But for this, you're only at $52. You get this elegant dress with the accessories for $52. Then you get the shoes, and you're done. You're selling and profiling. So that's what I have for the Amour Too Classy boutique. As you can see on me, I have on my two-tone. This is my favorite. It has my favorite color, blue on it. So yes. Now we got that part done. Let's get into it because I know you guys are like, what? I'm serving money and not God. She got to be playing. No, I'm serious. The words that are coming out of my mouth are of my Father. As we talked about in the last video, when we were in John, the 8th chapter, even if the signal is messing up, I know for a fact that you guys can still hear me. So I don't care how I look because I want y'all to go beyond the cover anyway. Don't focus on the looks. So, in spite of the extraness of the enemy, when he knows I'm about to speak truth and tell y'all the truth on today's topic. Because I know you guys are wondering, like, what? She's talking about serving money, not God. You're serving money and not God. And God wants me to, shed light on that, to let you guys know. So all you got to do is repent and then just stop doing it. Simple. Because when you don't know, you just don't know. Like I told you guys before, I thought that all I was supposed to do was just work and follow the system or whatever. But God had me on a different path. So It wasn't that I was trying to be combative against God or whatever. That's why he has me to shed light, so that we just know what is right in God's eyes, not in our own eyes. Because I thought I was living the right life for me, but God didn't have that for me. And I'm talking just about myself. He didn't have that for me. He had me to do what he has me to do right now. And it keeps expanding the more I grow. So that's why he said, allow him to direct your path. Now, again, as we were talking in John the 8th chapter, I'm going to start back on that because God is saying that you are being a slave to sin. And he explains that here in John the 8th chapter. And it says that I'm just going to put start where it says dispute over who Jesus is, because that's the problem right now. Where the problem lies is the dispute of who Yahweh is. Since y'all want to talk about the name and all this stuff, so let's talk about the dispute of who Yahweh is, because that seems to be the problem of why you can't follow the word, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and they're trying to deceive us and keep us enslaved and all of this stuff. And God said, what are you talking about? Now see, since you know me, I'm going to keep it 100. I since I was hearing from God, I was like, I don't need no word, I don't need anything but my Father, period. That's all I need. And then when God led me to his word, but see, he led me to the truth in his word. He had me to go beyond the cover. So that's why I tell y'all to discover God, our Father, so that he can uncover what he has in here. Because I thought myself that I didn't need it. So I thought, I already hear from God, so I don't have to have no word, because I just hear from God and da. But God led me to his word, and he led me to the hidden things beyond the cover. So that's why I want you guys to discover what's beyond this cover, because no matter what they try to do, he tells you if we allow him to direct us. Period. Now, the dispute of who Yahweh is. So we don't have, oh, Jesus, Yahweh. The dispute of who Yahweh is. It says once more, because we already read John the 8th chapter, but we're back into John the 8th chapter, starting at the verse 21. Dispute over who Yahweh is. It says once more, Jesus said to them, I am going away, and you will look for me, and you will die in your sin. Where I go, you cannot go. Or you cannot come. This made the Jews ask, will he kill himself? What are you talking about? See, people who do not know who he is ask ridiculous questions like, is he going to kill himself? Like, what are you talking about? But anyway, it says question mark. Is that why he says, where I go, you cannot come? But he continued, this is what Yahweh said. Verse 23, he said, you are from below. I am from above. You are of this world. I am not of this world. So therefore, I don't do the things of this world. Period. I'm not serving money. I'm serving my Father, whatever my Father tells me to do. Period. My Father is my provider. Period. My Father is my source and my resource. Period. And once you realize that, you'll realize and understand how. I'm going to keep my finger right here, so I'll go back to it. But this is true today because in May, I will be in business for 7 years. Now I have an 8-year-old daughter, which is my youngest. She's 8. I will be in business for 7 years in May. So that should tell you a little bit about my life. Now, before um, I started the business, before 7 years ago, I was working jobs. I was going to school. I already had my son. So I was working, going to school, trying to figure out what I was supposed to do. But it seemed like no matter what job I tried, it wasn't nothing that I did or didn't do or whatever. It was just like my son got sick or whatever. I know you guys can still see me, so I'm not worried about how blurry it may look or whatever. But I was, I had just became, when I started my business, I just became, at that very second, a single mom. And both of my kids were under the school age. They were not able to go to school. I even tried to get my son into school, and since his birthday is late in September, he couldn't go into the very next year. So at that time, I'm like, what in the world? God has me to go on this path, this unknown path that I can't ask nobody or rely on nobody but Him. All I know is to work. That's all I've seen happen in my life. So I'm like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? I have 2 kids. Um, this doesn't make sense in my understanding. That's why He tell you not to lean into thy own understanding, but to acknowledge Him, God, in all of your ways. So even with it being confusing, no help, I thought I would receive some child care help. None of that. They also took away, they took that away once I told them I was going to start a business because I wasn't doing it their way. Um, so I had that against me, no child care, no one to really help me because everybody was working, including their father. Everybody was working. So I didn't have anyone to help at the time that God had told me to take this leap of faith and trust in Him. Now, I didn't know that I was going in the wrong path. I thought I was living right because, I have 2 kids. I have to work. I have to make this money. I have to do what's best for my kids. And God is like, I understand that. I created you. I know what's going on in the world today. It's not, He's here. He's present. He's beyond us. So He knows. But until we recognize and acknowledge Him in all our ways, even if it don't make sense, we're going to be stuck serving money and not God. And it can easily happen. And that's why I'm talking about, I'm not trying to act like I'm judging anyone, or this is not the judgmental type of show. This is just telling you like, hey, you can unknowingly serve money and not God because you're not following what God has you to do because you're too focused on what's in front of you and you're not going beyond. See, I'm farsighted. I told you about farsighted. So farsighted people, we can see far. So I can't even see anything near. But I can see beyond what's in front of me. And that's what God is wanting us to start doing, look beyond. If God is telling you to do something, you have to look beyond your circumstance and go further. Even when, wow, God, okay. Even when I had a financial advisor, um, he broke that away for a second to let me see that looking at my finances at where I was at that point, it's not going to get me any further. That's going to get me stuck right there because I'm basing it off what I'm making at that moment. God can change your income status at any time, and I'm a living witness in today's world with 2 kids and a mom all day, every day, homeschooled. Tell me who's paying my bills. All I am doing is being obedient and serving my Father and doing what He has me to do. And He supplies all my needs. And you guys, when you guys see exactly what He has blessed me with, that wasn't even on the market or nothing, it was just spectacular. It's beyond this. What you see right here, it's beyond. But I can't release it until He allows me to release it. But when you guys see what He is doing, you will understand that this is literally my life. I have not worked a job in 6 of the 7 years that I have been in business with 2 kids. So I'm not telling you guys some phony, false, fake stuff, period. I'm not telling you none of that. Because the first year that I was still working and trying to start the business is when, I started buying my equipment. But once I had my equipment, I was off to doing what God told me to do. Now, nobody understood it, including myself. I didn't know the path or what it was going to do. All I knew was God told me to do this, and this is what I need to do. Period. That's all I knew that I was supposed to do. Well, telling everybody with 2 kids, it don't look right. But this is part of serving God instead of money. Because I could have continued, well, this don't look right, and I don't want people to think that I'm not taking care of my kids or whatever. But if my kids are taken care of, boom, by my Father, what am I worried about? I don't have to worry about these mere human beings and their standards of what they think I need to be doing. Because I'm a servant of God, the Most High. It's not my business that is providing. The pandemic, I had a lot of money during the pandemic. It was God. I couldn't take any pictures. So I don't want anybody to think that, oh, it's her photography. Oh, I'm about to start doing photography. No, you need to start doing what God has you to do. Not what He has Shanidra to do. Because He's even expanded Shanidra just photography. I don't just do photography. I do whatever God has me to do. I do photography. I do videos, clothing, classes for kids and adults. I've been doing that since 2017. A magazine. He has me in all different directions, but that's where God has me. He's showing me my gifts that I did not go to school for. Period. He's opening doors that I cannot open on my own. Period. So if you stop serving this money and quit trying to chase money and what everybody else is doing, and I'm gonna start trying to do photography too, and I'm gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna start. Well, you're not gonna get the same result because what God has for you is just for you, and what God has for me is for me. So don't think that it's the photography. Look at my Father. He's the one that's providing. What was going on when I couldn't take pictures, sweetheart? Let's talk about it. Who was providing? Who? Nobody but God. So, again, this is not nothing I'm just speaking on or trying to tell you based off of what I've just read. When you start living in the Word, you start to understand it even clearer. Because if you look at Moses talking to a burning bush, you'll be like, he crazy, something wrong with him. Because you're carnal minded and you're just looking at it from flesh, your fleshly eyes. Like, what the heck? He over there talking to a burning bush. What? Who does that? He's crazy. No, he's not. He's in tune with the Father. And when you're in tune with the Father, you start understanding and getting revelations out of more than just, somebody, the preacher speaking. You start seeing beyond their cover when you start to discover But right now, you look at stuff like, oh, this don't make sense, and it don't. That's why he said, lean not into your own understanding, but to acknowledge him in all of your ways. So if you acknowledge him in all your ways, you'll start doing what he has you to do. You won't chase money. You won't chase, oh, the next big thing that they're telling you will make money in business or whatever. No, you would do God's business. God's business is what is going to give you peace. How did you get peace and all this? God. My connection with God, it comes from God. My peace comes from God. From me giving out, casting all my burdens unto him. Because when I was trying to take on everything and I thought it was all on me, I didn't have the peace. Because I was trying to do it and I was trying to figure out how am I going to make, I'm going to have to make this amount of money and so I could take care of my kids because I got this bill, this bill. It was like, cast all that to me. I'm the one that supplies your needs. It's not none of these jobs. So every time I thought I had the perfect job or whatever that was going to supply everything and all this stuff, I'm like, well, I got a good job now. Oh, I'm going to be able to do this and calculate this and all that. It was like, no, let go of all that control. You're not in control of nothing. Let me put another stumbling block. Since you think you can do this without me, you can't. And that's what it was. I can't even wake up on my own. Come on, I can't even talk on my own. If we have not learned anything from COVID, everything can be taken in a second, sweetheart. He'll let you know real quick who it is. Oh, you don't believe me? You will see. Keep trying them. But again, it's just shedding light, not condemning nobody. Shedding light of you serving money. Don't follow what other people are doing. Ask God, what is it that you have me to do? What is your will for my life? Because all I asked, I was like, look, Lord, every time I get a job, something happens. Like, I don't know. What is it? All I want to do is take care of my kids. That's all I told God. I was like, look, I was crying on my knees. My son said he was hugging me because he misses me. And I'm like, he sees me every day. How can he miss me when he sees me every day? But he misses me because I'm working and doing all the things that I think is the right thing to do. I thought it was right. That's all I saw in my life. So I thought that this was right for my life. But we have to ask God and seek God's guidance. He said, allow him to direct our path. So I had to acknowledge God, stop leaning to my own understanding, acknowledge him in all of my ways so I could figure out what he has me to do. I'm not the one. I was thankful that he made me to be a photographer. That's nothing I decided that I was going to do. You can ask the Urban League. I had a whole business plan on something else. But this is what stuck. This is what I started with. But the photography is not my source. This business is not my source. God is my source. Period. So that's all I'm here to tell you guys is that have faith in God, not money. Because when you start following money and the next trend in business and the next trend in this and this job got more money and I'm going to go here and money, you're starting to serve money instead of him. That's how it works. And that's how slick the enemy is. He just slickly have you following that and you don't even know it. You unknowingly do it without even recognizing like, hey, what the heck? I didn't even ask God if this is what he asked me to do or nothing. Now, I have some that right. So I try to ask God all the time, like, what is it that you have me to do? Am I doing the right thing? Even when he blessed me with this, that I can't tell y'all right now. But when he blessed me with this, I even told the man, I was like, hey, let me pray about it. Then I'll get back to you. Well, I couldn't sleep that night. God gave me all these visions or whatever, what he wanted me to do with this. I called God the next day. Boom. Now, because I want to tell y'all the truth so that you don't be misled of when God blesses you. And sometimes it don't seem like, that you have to confirm. I always confirm like again and again, like, hey, God, because stuff start looking like how it was with Moses when he was delivering the people from Egypt. Now, Moses told them that they was going to be delivered, but it got harder on them before, God delivered them through the Red Sea. Who would have known that he was going to depart the Red Sea to deliver them through the Red Sea? Nobody would have known. That's why he said, lean not into your own understanding, because how he's going to deliver us is not the way we think it is. Trust me, I know, because when I started on this journey, I was like trying to look, see, how is God going to do this? Oh, I think he's going to do it this way. And oh, I know it's going to happen this way. And like, I was like, I'm going to do it total opposite way. Just because you're trying to figure it out. Your thoughts are not my thoughts, period. And I had to recognize that. I'm trying to figure it out, and God, and he piece by piece, he give you this piece, give you that piece, and you don't see it until you complete the puzzle. When you complete the puzzle, then you see the bigger picture. But until then, you got to take these pieces and start putting them together. And then when you put them together, then you're like, oh, now it's starting to make, oh, this is what he was doing. But before then, you don't really know. He tells you he's going to deliver you. You're like, okay, yay, yes, I'm excited. Honey, when he's delivering you, it feels like delivery when you're pregnant and about to give birth to this gift that God has gifted you, the baby. Your business is your baby. Like I tell everybody, I have, well, now 4 because my dog I consider, but, this business is my 3rd baby, period. So with this business, I treat it as, another gift from God. So I acknowledge God to see what God has me to do, whether it's for my actual children or my business. Because I know that, my children have their own gifts. But just like Mary, she knew that Jesus, was the Son of God. But we don't know how God is going to bring that out, and the path that they're going to have to go on and what they're going to have to go through, or nothing. So I have to acknowledge God in all my ways, in everything. I mean, everything. Not a little bit of things, but everything. So I'm just trying to break it down so you guys can see how it is easy to just unknowingly serve money and not God. You cannot continue on doing this after you know. So I'm trying to break it down and just shed light on how it looks in God's eyes when you decide to figure things out on your own and not acknowledge him on your life when he created you for a purpose. So therefore, he knows the purpose that he has on your life. So he advises you to acknowledge him in all of your ways so he can direct your path. Now, if we get on the wrong path, then he can redirect us, reroute us into the right direction. But we cannot continue going on in the wrong direction and expecting God to be pleased with our actions. Period. What is right in our eyes is not the same in God's. So we're going to read more into the word because it's going to get deeper. So the deeper that I dig in here, remember I told you I didn't think I needed the word because I already had a relationship with God. I thought all I need is God. I don't need to read nothing. I don't need to do this. I don't need to. But God changed that when he led me to his word. But he started showing me hidden things in his word. So it don't matter what they try to do, what they try to take out, what they try to nothing. Because when he directs you and he speaks through you, period, there's nothing that anybody can say to you because they're going based off of what they think is right and what they read because they don't have that personal relationship with God. Like I told you guys in my last video, you can know God and there's people that are of God. There's a huge difference in both of the two, but you can watch the other video. I'm not going to make this video any longer than what it needs to be. Now, again, dispute over who Yahweh is. It said he already told them that that they will die in their sin. Where he goes, they cannot come. Then the Jews asked, will he kill himself? No. Is that why he says where he goes, you cannot come, we cannot come? Anyways, but he continued. You are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. I told you that you would die in your sins if you do not believe that I am He, that I am He. You will indeed die in your sins, period. So don't let them deceive you and thinking that this is going to keep you enslaved and all this stuff. Honey, I'm freer than I've ever been ever in my life. Freer than working a job, period. Serving God has freed me up to do His will, His way, period. So He'll free you up once you acknowledge Him and let Him direct your path. He's been directing my path for going on 7 years in May, period. With 2 kids, no help. So it's nothing. I didn't get no grant money. I didn't get all this money starting out. Even when I did my pitch at the Urban League, they could tell you I started out with no money. So it's not going to be as you expect it to be, but you have to have the faith beyond sight. That's what faith is, beyond sight, beyond. You have to go beyond what you see in front of you. So it's not going to look like what He told you. So I want to make that clear because it didn't look like this. I didn't know I was going to have all of this when I started. I thought all I was going to be is a photographer. But again, I don't want y'all to think that the photography or this video or any of this is paying the bills. It's God. And when you realize who your source is, you don't worry about nothing. When you cast all your burdens unto Him, you don't worry about. That's where the peace comes. It comes from God. Girl, I could tell you got peace now. And how did you get God? Building a closer connection with God. I spend more time with God than I spend with anybody. I don't have time to be talking. I really don't. I don't talk to nobody. This is like the best freedom, peace I've ever experienced in my life. That's why I'm trying to get you guys to experience this with everything, because everybody's like, how are you affording this? And how are you this? And how? God, I don't know what else to tell you. But when you in God, when you're of God, then you understand how God works. But that's why I'm here to break it down, because I'm not going to just be like, well, this is just for me and God is just going to bless me and y'all are. No, please. He want to bless all of y'all, all of us. Not some of us, not part of us. He just wants us to do His will, His way. He wants to show you how you're being deceived into sin. Period. He's paying all my bills. And when He lets me reveal what He has done, not Shanidra. Because Shanidra, if I didn't have the faith, I would have chickened out of this. Because I would have looked at my finances and would have been like, no. But then soon as I took that leap of faith, He just dropped. I'm like, what? But that's how He works. So that's why I'm trying to explain to you guys, like, it don't matter what it looks like. If He tell you something, just do it, period. And He's going to work out everything. My problem when I first took the leap of faith is trying to figure it out. Okay, God, so you got me doing this. So that means that I'm just going to have to start doing this. And I might have to work this job and do it because I still got to make money. And I got to figure out how I can make more money because I still got this. And He's like, what are you talking about? Didn't I just tell you? And I'm like, yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do this. He was like, hey, I got this. Just like our kids when they be trying to do too much. Shut up, I got this. You're not paying not one bill. You still get fed every day. Why are you worried about anything where we're going? You're going to be fed. Period. So don't worry about how we're going to get there or whatever. He said, let Him direct your path. That's why He give us little pieces by pieces. I used to be like, okay, God, I just completed this piece. What else? But then, He delivers me from something else. So we're never just fully delivered from stuff. He has to deliver us from something else, always something else that we can fix and change of ourselves before He takes us to the next level. And then we start doing stuff that I'm like, well, I didn't know you had me to do this. I didn't know you had me to teach this. I didn't know you had me to, but this is what God has me to do. And I realized that when I said, oh, I'm not the one to be in front of a camera. I like being behind the camera. I don't like being, talking in front of people, and I don't like this, and I don't like going live, and I'm not going to do this, and I'm not. And God was like, "Who are you talking to?" I was like, "Oh, see, I didn't know that I was talking to God when I said I'm not going to do stuff that He's telling me to do." And I'm saying that's not me, and I don't be in front of cameras. But look at me now. Period. You think after I find out that I'm talking to him that I'm gonna keep saying that I'm not gonna do something? No. But ever since I have been obedient, my whole life has changed. I mean, I'm full all in. So everything that I tell y'all, from being celibate to everything, y'all going to just see all the changes from the start to beginning. So I'm just excited to continue to tell you guys that it's happening today. What I'm reading and telling you guys is what I'm actually living today in 2022, February the 10th, 2022. So I'm living this life today. I still have two kids. The kids didn't disappear when I got into business. The help didn't just come again. People were still sitting on their hands. So it was nothing but God. Period. And all glory will be going to God. Period. It wasn't Shanidra. Well, you had to do the works. Of course I had to do the works. But if you all knew all the warfare that I have to go through doing the works, you would understand why I give all glory and honor to God, because when I am weak, He is strong. He gives me the strength literally. Oh, no, that's what they tell you. Girl, you got strength. No. When you in that position and you really don't have the strength to continue to do it, and then He's telling you to still do it, and you like, Lord, help me. And He gives you the strength, you just pop up and you can do it, and you have, the energy to be able to do that. Then you'll understand what I mean when I say it was nothing but God. This is God. This is not Shanidra. This is God. Oh, yeah, but no, it's God, period. And when y'all see me and when I'm able to release and tell you guys what He has done in my life, then I'm still going to give glory to God. Y'all not going to hear me talking about, oh, but Shanidra did, because Shanidra didn't know. I didn't know that this was coming. I didn't know. Because sometimes we get comfortable and we like, hey, I don't have to, be anywhere else. You supplying my needs. We get comfortable, kick our feet up or whatever. He had me relaxing. So, I was enjoying it. I'm an introvert, so I like being in the house. So, especially I got my peace now. God, like, come on now. I could be in the house talking to Him all day. So, because he actually fixes my problems. So, He can do that. So, and I don't have to worry about it going out or people looking at me weird, or, oh, you can't vent in front of people because they're going to judge you and all. Like, stop it. See, when you talk to God and you have that relationship with God, it's like, and God, we could just talk and it's just so peaceful and He holds you and it's just so wonderful. But let me get into it before I start just going over and over about my Father. Okay, so He continues, you are from below, I'm from above. You are of this world, I'm not of this world. I told you that you would die in your sins. If you do not believe that I am He, you will indeed die in your sins. So that's why I'm telling you it's important to know that Yahweh is the way. It's either Yahweh or the highway, period. I say that in all my videos. Yahweh, or you can hit the highway, period. Simple. So they're like, who are you? They ask. And He's like, just what I have been telling you from the beginning. Yahweh replied, I have much to say in judgment of you, but He who sent me is trustworthy, and what I have heard from Him, I tell the world. Now, that's another thing. So Yahweh just told him, I've been telling you who I am and who I was sent from. But people want to know, where did you go to school and what biblical school did you go to? But if y'all knew God, y'all would know that's part of the enslavement part, because God will direct us through His word. God will. It's not us. We're not supposed to try to interpret this on our own. We need God to help us interpret his word. I didn't know, I could not understand his word. That's the honest to God's truth. Before I had this relationship with God, I did not understand it. But now that I do have this relationship with God, I can understand what God is saying. But until you have that relationship with God, you will not know. So, like Yahweh said, I've been trying to tell you from the beginning. I have much to say in judgment of you, but he who sent me is trustworthy, and what I have heard from him, I tell the world. So the people that are of God, we just tell y'all what God is saying through us. It's not me, it's God. They did not understand. Of course, nobody understands. Oh, so they didn't go to la di da da, and they wasn't ordained by this and this and this and that. So how are they even able to do this? And that's not right because you have to do this and this and this. And God is like, well, no, they are directed by me, like I originally told them that it was going to be. I told them that I was going to direct their path. Period. I will speak through them. My sheep hear my voice. Period. But again, they did not understand that he was telling them about his father. So Yahweh said, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, that I do nothing on my own. Again, I do nothing on my own. Okay. I do nothing on my own. Um, they did not understand him. He said, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will know that I am he, and that I do nothing on my own but speak just what the Father has taught me. Period. But I'm going to end this right now because there is a situation that I have to deal with on today. But I'm going to go live again and go deeper into what God is saying. So we are not serving money, and we're serving God and doing it God's way. Let's go beyond the cover.